Oh, I got the wrong. There we go.
On time.
I come from Alabama with the banjo on my knee. A good American song. Something like that. That's a Marine Corps hymn. I don't know that whole song. This is one of the other instruments I play. Kind of okay, I guess. I didn't take my watch. I can't keep a watch on the watch. I'm going to do this for an hour or maybe a half an hour because Mom and I are going out to dinner tonight, which is something we don't do very often. I like how this sounds like a tent. When you're zipping up a tent, makes me think of camping. I need 700 more subscribers. 700. I've reached the 300 mark, which I'm pretty proud of, but I need 700 more subscribers. I think I'm on my way because I get at least 4 or 5 subscribers each day. So Hopefully my rate will go faster than that. I don't want to be too old before I become an actual professional YouTuber. We were talking about ninjas yesterday. Today is November 3rd. We're getting close to Thanksgiving. Closer and closer to Thanksgiving Day. I have a ninja throwing star. It's pretty pointy. They say this is used for distraction. If you throw one of these at somebody, it makes them distracted. Also, you can poison the tips. Or just dip them in poo-poo. I've heard that a lot. A lot of ancient warriors, they would dip their sword. Oh, hello there. Good day. I was showing off my ninja throwing star. I got a few of them. I've always wanted to have these as a kid. I used to make these out of sheet metal and tin snips. This one has a total of 6 points. The show. Yes, I do remember you from yesterday. How could I forget? I always get excited when people chat with me. So we'll start this show off with a bang. Somebody asked me what other instruments I play. Hey. One of the instruments I play is a harmonica. I'm pretty proud of my harmonica. A nice sailor song. That'll give you motion sickness. The ship goes up and down, up and down. It comes in this handsome carrying case. Ridley's. Ridley's is the brand name. No, I'm not getting paid to say that. That'd be cool if I could fill a stadium with people who want to hear me play harmonica. When did I get it? A few years ago. A few years ago I got this. I had one that was given to me. It was a Honor. Honor made it. And it sounds the same. I'm going to make up a song. That sounds like up on the rooftop. Up on the rooftop. I'm not sticking to the flute tradition today. I always like the sound of a flute. Me too. It takes me back to a simpler time. I brought my baby machete today. It's got the American flag on it. I've had it for a while. I think it belonged to my nephew. My little baby machete. It comes in handy for for shelter building. If you're on a deserted island, it would help out. It's a good way to cut your bamboo. Cut your bamboo so you can go spear fishing. Machete. It's going to be pretty sharp. It's not very sharp right now. I'm kind of disappointed in myself because I usually like to keep these really sharp. The way I know how it's sharp is I can shave off the hairs off my hand. Maybe that's what I'll do while I'm sitting here. I'll sharpen it up. I can go get my diamond sharpener and just start going shh, shh, like Conan the Barbarian. Conan, what is best in life? Crush your enemies, see them driven before you, and hear the lamentation of the women. I need to shine it up too. I kind of like having a little coat on it because it stops it from rusting. I'll have to find out how you can make a sheath for it. This doesn't have the sheath for some reason. Get out of my yard! Get out of my yard! Don't let your dog poop in my yard. It's amazing how many officers, I guess not very often, sharpening is like, it's good to sharpen it right before you use it, but it's good to have it sharp already because you never know what kind of tasks you're going to have ahead of you. Sometimes it's just clearing away brush, like when you're going through a wooded area like what's behind me. You can chop yourself a trail. It's nice to have a sharp machete. In case you have to defend yourself against a crocodile. Saltwater crocodiles are a lot bigger than you'd think they are. I think they get to be like 20 feet long, 12 to 20 feet long or something like that. It's like, I wouldn't want to run into a saltwater crocodile. They're really good at sneaking up on creatures too. Especially in water holes or rivers when creatures come to get some water from the river, the crocodile's waiting right there to get them. I think the difference between a crocodile and an alligator, one you see later, one you see after a while. Crocodilius. Yeah, they are quite scary. Especially when they sneak up on you. You don't even know they're there sometimes. Crocodiles. They can grab onto like a wildebeest or a zebra, or zebra as they say, across the pond. It's funny, we say the letter Z, but they say Z. They say Z instead of Z in the UK. We call them cookies, they call them biscuits. We call them pants, they call them trousers. Pants are underwear in the UK. So when you wear your pants, you have your trousers on over them. If you don't want to be arrested. Today's not as cold as yesterday. It's supposed to be in the 70s the next few days, which is kind of weird for autumn. I guess what, the black cat. We need the black cat to show up here. Maybe if I had a can of tuna fish. I'll have to get a can of tuna or something like that. Maybe my black cat will show up. I noticed that, yeah. Like Canadian bacon, uh, it's pieces of ham. Tom Green brought that up one time in one of his interviews. He was saying, "You call it Canadian bacon? It's just ham." But it's pretty good. I guess it's the way it's prepared. They call it Canadian bacon. I haven't had some in a while. How you doing, Trigger? Welcome to the party. I gotta get some apple juice. I've been craving apple juice lately. Ingles is the grocery store that I always go to, and they had a special on apple juice. Nice hat. Thank you. It's one of my flappy hats. Looks like I can like I'm a pilot. I know. Yeah, those. Sometimes I type like that too. Sometimes I type and I don't type what I mean to type. I'm gonna make this look like the Russian hat. A couple of episodes further back, there was my brother went to Afghanistan. He was in the Marine Corps, and he he said he went to this tent in the middle of nowhere, and he was selling Russian hats, and he brought one back to me. And if you scroll down, um, you'll see a picture of me wearing this hat. It's the episode where I show off that from Russia. It's really warm. It's like a really thick hat. I think it's made of deer skin. Russians, they use reindeer. They travel on reindeer, which is kind of smart. Good day. Hi with a bunch of eyes. Hi. Welcome, welcome to the party. The party. I guess I'm celebrating today because I have 300 subscribers. I need 700 more subscribers. So I'm going to start begging for subscribers. I kind of did that. One of my shorts. I'll make a lot more shorts. Those don't seem to get a lot of hits. The ones with, what movie is this from? Those are the ones that I get a lot of views from. So I'll keep doing the what movie is this from. I got to watch more movies so I can come up with movie lines. And jokes, sometimes jokes are, thank you. Yeah, it's gonna help me boost my confidence as a performer. They say that's the difference between being a performer and a professional performer. One guy, one hypnotist, that's when he realized he was a professional, when he was getting paid to be a hypnotist. So I'll probably realize one day that I'm a professional. When people start liking my comedy. They say dying is easy, comedy is hard. You got to find your audience, I guess. Find the right people who like what you do as far as comedy goes, as far as making people laugh. Hello, lads. Now, where's Arthur from? I forgot. I think lads sounds more like a European, kind of like maybe from Ireland or from the UK. Oh, I got 4 people today. How about that? Which means I might just have 5. I hope you like my Genghis Khan style hat. I was talking about about ninjutsu yesterday. Wow, I'm getting my goal. Oh, from Canada. Welcome from Canada. The Great White North. There it is Celsius. So 0 degrees Celsius is 32 degrees Fahrenheit. I think we're the only country that doesn't. Oh, cool. I'm also Irish. Hello, lads. I've never been to Ireland. I've seen a lot of footage from Ireland. It's really nice. They call it the Emerald Isle. They say that beer was the civilization, or was what saved civilization. Oh, 20% Irish. I'm Scandinavian. One of my one of my aunties, she's into genealogy, and they found out that I'm was it mostly English and German, but I got some Irish and Scandinavian. So I'm from the Viking era. So yes, Irish. Irish and Scots fought together against the English. Some of Ireland, some of Scotland is part of the UK. If I know my history right, if I can keep up on modern, I goofed one time. It's King William. King William. No, not King William. God. Now I messed it up again. There's Prince William. I have it today, but I didn't bring it out. I didn't bring it outside. Maybe that'll be another tradition. I'll bring out my Viking sword and my Viking axe. I'll have to do that. Then keep it interesting. Charles, there we go. His name was is King Charles now. And I was right when it was Queen Elizabeth passed away last year. So they now have King Charles. I do have a sword cane. Maybe I'll go get it. Wait a minute. Enjoy this scenery. I'll go get my sword cane. Upon request. I don't think they're illegal here in Georgia. All right. I didn't bump the camera this time. I'm getting better. I'm getting more graceful. This one it looks like the cold steel version of a sword cane. I personally like the knife. You ever watch Clockwork Orange when Alex had the you like my Russian hat? Привет, меня зовут Ed. I think it's Mia Zavot. That means my name is Mia Zavot, Slim Shady. Yeah, I like the in Clockwork Orange. Alex had a cane like this, but it had a knife instead of a cane, and those are quicker to draw. Because this, you have to pull all this sword out before you can actually use it. And for close quarters, it's really helpful. But to keep somebody back from you, this would be good. And this has kind of like an armor piercing, kind of like a katana, like a ninja sword, which I really like, because you can pierce through like a leather jacket or a thick coat. This will go right. Do I watch Friends? Um, Matthew Perry, I heard he passed away not too long ago, and they had a reunion. The remaining members of Friends, yeah, that was pretty. That was up there with Seinfeld. A lot of those shows back in the, I think it was in the '90s when they had Friends. A lot of people lined up. Somebody actually made it to the hospital in time on a night when Seinfeld was being played in a hot tub. That's kind of a nice way to go. You're chilling in a hot tub, and all of a sudden, the you see St. Peter. So has like a wobbly. I don't think this is heat treated. This is a Bud K kind of sword cane. But Bud K was where I think I got this from, which is nice. I like looking in their catalog. They have a lot of cool weapons, and this is good. I think for far away, when you're not in close quarters combat. And so there's my sword cane. It'd be nice to use this as a club also, if they can make this stick in harder. So in case you don't want to kill somebody, you just want to bludgeon. This reminds me of a one of those trench clubs. It was like a harpoon. So at the end of it had a sharp point, or was it where you held on to it? You did say harpoon, right? That wasn't a typo. A harpoon cane. The only thing I don't like is when you can hear the sword rattling. You can hear it kind of gives it away as far as the concealment part. But it'll still work. It's got a nice little knob at the end. You can get in and out of your limousine. Oh, a metal arrow. Cool. If somebody gets too close. What I've seen a lot of is dogs running up on cops when cops go to respond to a call. Oh, I got 2 likes. Thank you. And yeah, the cops have to shoot dogs, especially pit bulls. Pit bulls always seem to be the dogs that attack people, which is scary. I mean, you see a pit bull coming at you because pit bulls they'll latch on, from what I hear, and they won't let go. Yes, there are. So at least 4 people watching today. So which means 5, maybe 5 people. And they're hanging on too. Isn't that cool? I'm starting to draw in. Maybe then I'll be able to get a stadium full. I'll get a stadium full of people who want to watch me show off my my interesting collection of toys. That's right. It was always Trigger. He goes by the name Trigger. And I always like acknowledging my loyal listeners, or my loyal chatters, my peeps, my followers. He makes you, oh cool, I like that. I like to make people happy when they're sad. I want to pull people out of their sadness. Sometimes I feel sad. And then I just stop thinking. If you think too much, you're probably going to be sad. Sometimes when I think way too much, I get sad. When I hear about what's going on in the world, what they want us to focus on. So, I guess this is a good choice of hat today because it's not as cold as yesterday, and I can there we go. I look like a Mongolian horseman. I can shoot an arrow off a horseback. That's one thing that the Huns were really good at was fighting on horseback. The Huns and the Vikings were always known as badasses. So I guess today is people are around this time is people coming home from school. Some of the people coming home from school like to wave, "Hi, welcome back from school." I used to hate homework. I think homework is kind of sad. You should get all your work done at school or at work. Get all your work done at work. Don't take anything home with you. Home is where you kick up your heels, drink some hot apple cider, and watch what's on Netflix. Stranger Things. It used to be Walking Dead. Was a Walking Dead. I hear is filmed right here in Georgia because I have what am I? Margians. What's that? Am I reading it right? Margians. Is that a new virus that's out? It's funny how we nobody's talking about viruses lately. Nobody's wearing those I call them mouth bras. They remind me of mouth bras. Those COVID masks. Everybody's wearing those masks and they still got COVID. Oh, severe headaches. Those are sometimes. Are you getting hydrated? I notice when you're dehydrated, you can get bad headaches and chills. I always get chills and muscle aches when I'm dehydrated. But sometimes they're brought on by stress. Hot headaches can be brought on by stress, or a lot of other scary things can happen that bring on headaches. Headaches are no fun. Headaches and toothaches. A toothache can ruin your whole day. Oh, okay. Yeah. My brother also has, um, he had tumor. Well, I don't know if I can talk about it, but he had a tumor that was removed, and tumors can bring on headaches, which is scary. But yeah, headaches are no fun, especially when it's chronic. You know, you get diagnosed at a young age, and then it turns out to be your something you have to deal with or manage. That's one thing I hate hearing is pain management. You should be pain free. I prefer pain free to pain management. Management means you're in pain and you're just trying to deal with it. And then pain free, you just go Allegra. So this is one thing I can do with. I'll have to get really good at slicing apples in midair. I'm on this apple kick. I just want somebody to throw apples at me so I can just slice apples in midair like a real samurai. I think tomorrow I'll bring out my katana. I'm going to bring that out. I like to show off my katana. It's called a museum quality katana, so it's it looks pretty close to the real thing. And I was like watching. There's a show called Ghost Inside My Child. I missed. My coat is making it toward the white letters. I can't see the white letters, so I need to make it to where I do this when I read, so I don't, so I can, so I don't miss the letters. I'm up to 3 likes and 4 people. How about that? I really hate that when I'm trying to read letters and they blend in. It's kind of like those captions, not caption, subtitles. When I'm reading the subtitles, a lot of people are going to homeschooling for likes. We're on so far only three. I noticed there it always adds and subtracts one like. I've noticed that, or it'll add and subtract uh, a viewer. So we got four people, possibly five. Like I said, I always like to laugh at the accuracy. Man, can't they just leave people alone at school? When I was growing up, the most you'd see is a fist fight. You'll see a fist fight or somebody wrestling with somebody, but never weapons were used. But now I guess people are getting nastier. They got to stab or shoot. It's like leave your knives at school. What they should do is have metal detectors. I like the idea of a metal detector, or have strip searches right before you go to school. They just pat you down, make sure you don't have weapons. The only time I think a weapon should be used is if you have multiple attackers. If you're being attacked by more than one, yeah, it's hard to. Because back in the '50s, I heard it was just leather jackets and those pompadours. People thought that was rebelling. Now it's like school shootings, stabbings, um, teachers getting it on with their students. It's like, why can't we just? I think what it is we spend too much time at school. I think spending all that time at school can make anybody crazy. I remember having dreams that I was still in school even after I graduated. After I graduated from school, it was yeah, graduated from high school. I remember having dreams that I was still in school, which was scary because it's like, hey, I graduated. I shouldn't have to come to school ever. Going to the job, my dream job. They say a lot of people hate their jobs. That's what they should do in school is teach you how to do something you really like. Like if you like to be a welder, they would teach you welding, or if you like to be a cobbler, you can make shoes and belts and wallets like that. Because some people really do like their jobs, but there's skill involved. They have to, it's like a trade, and I think that's what people should learn. High school should be all about getting you ready for what you're going to be doing for the rest of your life. Like if you want to be a knife maker, or if you want to be a shoe maker, or just rub lotion on beautiful women. That's a job I like to have. Like when they do photo shoots, have like all the lovely, beautiful models who need sunscreen. I'll be the guy who applies the sunscreen. I'll be like have a T-shirt that says "Official Lotion Boy." I could just have it set up to where uh, all these lovely swimsuit models and supermodels, they come up to me and I just put um, their coconut oil. Oh, my message was restricted. Somebody wrote something. I noticed there's some trigger words. If you type a certain word, it will restrict you. So I'll have to see what that was. I don't know how to do that. So if it's restricted, I probably won't be able to see it. Or a food taster. Some people are good food. Their whole job. It was me. That's what you say in an elevator. It was me. What was that? Bruce Almighty? Oh no, that was Liar Liar. He couldn't tell a lie. I guess his son wanted him to tell the truth. Oh, the trigger word. Okay. So trigger was the trigger word. Yeah. No. Oh, trigger was the trigger word. So you don't want to say trigger because somebody might put you on a watch list. That's one thing I never heard of when I was young. was a watch list. They have like, if you say certain words or if you do certain things, you could wind up on a watch list. So we're retaining 4 people today. How about that? We're getting up there. Maybe we'll have ice cream and pie. Go like this. There we go. That's, you have to make spaces in between each letter. Because I think they're pre-programmed. So the end of this is supposed to be the end that is against the floor. And I guess it was dropped too hard. So there we go. Didn't work. So you're troubleshooting certain trigger words to bypass the system. Hacking, getting some hacking done. Hacking is another trigger word, maybe. We got to watch the words that we never use. Lists of words you should never say. George Carlin had a list of words you couldn't say. I know, it's like they're watching us. You better be careful. They're watching us from a distance. Now I'm playing with my sword. This is kind of like a what do they call those? A rapier. Rapiers are pretty dangerous. They're those really long, narrow swords. I used to watch I saw a mock battle one time, and rapiers, they'll get you. They're really long. They have really long, skinny cylinder, or really long, skinny blades. You hear hit, hit. I've been hit. Yes, they're. Oh, it's a sword, like the Three Musketeers. You ever seen those kind of swords? They're really long and slim. Those are called rapiers. The rapier. They use it with a dagger also. They use they have a really long skinny blade. You went to that school? Oh, you two were talking with each other. Columbine. Oh, you almost went to Columbine? Some people, wow. There was a movie called Bowling for Columbine. It told the story. Michael Moore, I think it was the guy who was he made a documentary about Columbine, which is another school shooting. It's hard to keep track of all the school shootings that happen. There was a Walmart that was Hiram. Hiram is the next town over from Dallas, Georgia, and there was a shooting there. I know, yeah. It's amazing how they can't seem to monitor. Yeah, there's a lot of people that are saved from tragedy. I heard Michael Jackson. He stayed up late talking to his mother, and he missed his flight. The flight one of the flights that went into, I think, the North Tower, and Seth MacFarlane and Mark Wahlberg, the two guys that were in there, the maker and the actor in the movie Ted. Yeah, Mark Wahlberg and Seth MacFarlane, the guy who made Family Guy. They missed being in the 9/11 uh, terrorist attack. So it's like, yeah, that what a relief. I mean, just to say, hey, I could have been in that. I could have been in that plane, or I could have been on that train, or I could have been in that school shooting. So that was lucky. Yeah, getting under a table, getting behind anything, you know, depending on what kind of bullets are used. Full metal jackets are harder to protect yourself from anything at all. Yeah, those are hard things to remember sometimes, especially if you were there. Certain sounds could scare you. Yeah, out the window. Get away from wherever you see guns. Go the opposite direction, unless you're classically trained. In the military, some branches of the military they tell you to go toward the shooting or to rush the person, the person who has a gun or the rifle, rush them. Sometimes that'll distract them. You know, it'll surprise them, and they won't be able to get a shot off, which is kind of crazy to do, but it just might work. If you're in a situation where you can't run, you rush the person, especially if they don't see you coming. There was a scene where I saw a guy with a knife. He was using a knife to hold somebody hostage, and the guy took the chance and disarmed the guy with the knife. Close quarters, it's easy to it's hard to do because knives are you. They say knife fights are you're always going to get cut. That's what I learned about knife fighting. They always make it look cool in the movies, but knife fighting is very dangerous, and you can always expect to get cut even if you win the fight. There was a friend of mine from Turkey. He witnessed some knife fights. I guess daggers are the best ones to have because it's just a one quick stab. Slashes I hear are pretty brutal also. Slashes you bleed out faster than with a poke. Yes, I get Amber Alerts here in Georgia, and sometimes it's late at night. But what's funny is the abductor, the person who abducts a child, they already have the make, model, and year of the car. They already have the license plate, and it makes it quicker and easier for them to find the person who took a kid. I think you should leave kids alone. I mean, they have enough. They have a hard enough time already. Just leave, like that Pink Floyd song. Leave those kids alone. Because yeah, imagine being a kid and everybody's bigger than you when you're a little kid, and how easy it is to carry off a kid. And kids are they're very trusting. You know, it's always nice to see kids find their parents or not get lost in the first. I remember getting lost in a mall when I was a kid. I was in a mall and I just lost track of my mom and dad, and I was just walking around in this mall and didn't see anybody familiar for a while until I finally found my mom and dad. So that was a happy ending. I felt a lot better when I saw mom and dad instead of wandering around and seeing strangers everywhere. Wow, we got 49 minutes into the show and none of those. Yeah, Disneyland. Is that really a bad thing? Getting lost at Disneyland? You see a lot when you're at Disneyland. I'm pretty sure a lot of weirdos hang around Disneyland too. I noticed they took away Peter Pan's dagger. Peter Pan had a knife, and I noticed recently I've seen video of Disneyland, and Peter Pan doesn't have a knife anymore. I guess they say think that's a bad influence. I thought that was the cool thing about Peter Pan. He was able to fly, and he had a knife, and he had his cool hat with the feather in it. Peter Pan. Yeah, junkyards. Junkyards aren't the safest place to be. Getting lost in one is even scarier. because all the junk starts to look the same after a while. You got lost at a party, an abandoned hospital. Abandoned hospitals and insane asylums or psych wards, those are always places that they find ghosts. It's always interesting, like, I keep talking about Slapped Ham. Slapped Ham has ghosts, and he videotapes, like, sometimes you'll see a wheelchair move by itself, or a gurney move by itself. Or sometimes security guards are talking to somebody. They swear that they're talking to somebody, and it turns out to be a ghost. On the camera, you don't see the ghost, but the security guard saw the person, which is kind of spooky. Sometimes I've wondered if I've talked to ghosts before, because there's certain people I talk to that are strangers, and I go, "Hey, did I just talk to a ghost?" Then you wonder about these people who are in the streets and they're talking to people who aren't there. I wonder if there are people who can actually see ghosts, but we can't. That'd be an interesting thing to investigate. You're a security guard in a hospital, and you start directing. The guy was actually standing there directing somebody, and you couldn't see the person on camera, but the security guard was actually seeing a person. Abandoned places are pretty scary to... Oh, yeah? It's always grandpas, too. It's like, oh, I saw Grandpa. It's like, well, Grandpa's been dead for a couple of years now. Kids are always able to see ghosts, I hear. I always like watching that show, Psychic Kids. There's episodes where they talk about their ability to see the dead, and then they have people who are kind of um, experienced at looking at, or seeing ghosts, and then they teach the kids how to be better psychics. They always seem to be the not rejects, but the kids who don't fit in with the rest of the kids. I see ghosts, and people don't always believe me. Yeah, mediums. Like Kim Russo is one that I watch from time to time. Kim Russo does medium work, and she talks to celebrities that are having hauntings and figures out why they're being haunted. Sometimes it's just a matter of being in the right place at the right time. A ghost starts to take an interest in you. They say at 3 o'clock in the morning is when people are able to best see ghosts or interact with the supernatural or have supernatural experience around 3 o'clock. I used to think it was 1 o'clock, but sometimes I hear more it's 3 o'clock in the morning. If you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, you start to hear things that go bump in the night, or things that scream. I've seen video of people scream or hearing screams. Yeah, it was like watch. Yes, it's the witching hour. That's right. The time when most paranormal activity happens, and interactions with spirits. I've heard about leaving offerings for spirits. I hear a lot of them like wine, not wine, whiskey. That's like a New Orleans tradition or a Haitian tradition. Uh, Bring out some wine, no, some whiskey. Spirits seem to like whiskey, and some like honey. Some just like incense. If you just burn incense, spirits always like the smell of incense. Sometimes just talking to them. Sometimes they just like you to talk to them. I hear water also. You leave water out. They say spirits are always thirsty, so you could leave water out for if you want spirits to come by. I always like incense. Incense smell really nice. I liked Jim Beam whiskey or some of that rot gut whiskey. To fight a grizzly bear, I don't think I'd want to mess with a grizzly bear. Holy water, yeah, you can make your own holy water. I hear about that a lot. It's just a mixture of salt and water, and then you pray over it, and you use it for cleansing away negative spirits or clearing away negative energy. Sometimes pleasant music also clears away negative energy. There's this nice piece of wood that I like to get called Palo Santo. Palo Santo is good. Halo? That's a game, isn't it? Having your, yeah, Halo. I didn't see many Halo characters for Halloween. I saw Minecraft. I guess a lot of kids are into Minecraft. Latin music, yeah. Or Gregorian chants. You hear those like, there's one that I like. It's Saint Benedict. There's a Saint Benedict chant that's supposed to clear away negativity. Oh, okay. Games have gotten into the home lately because nobody goes out. When I was a kid in the '80s, we went to arcades to play video games like Pac-Man and Space Invaders and Galaga, and there was one. I think Galaga. There was quite like Tetris. I'm pretty sure Tetris was one of them, and you always had to put quarters. There were these consoles, and you walked up to them and you put quarters in them, and you could keep playing video games. But now they came out with Atari and Nintendo, and so Sega, Xbox, and all that, and you could play video games at home as long as you want to. You don't have to keep putting quarters in. So that's a good way to make a lot of money. Just have a room full of video games. I remember at the movie theater, the Cinedomes in California. They had an arcade there. When you're waiting for your movie to start, you could play arcade games. Yeah, the Nintendo. You had your own little game controller, and you put cartridges in them. Back in the '80s, it was the Atari. Atari was you had like Tank Commander, Pac-Man, Asteroids. Asteroids was pretty fun to play. You're just this spaceship that's floating around in space, and you're blowing up asteroids with your little laser. And Space Invaders is pretty cool too. You have all these aliens coming at you. 3Ds are pretty cool. They've gotten pretty advanced with the 3D. Yeah, that's kind of like Doom. I remember Doom. You could step onto the pentagram, and the pentagram would teleport you somewhere. Got our neighbor from across the street. So we got. I remember staying up all night to play Doom. The DS, Nintendo DS. You're born in '88, so yeah, you barely missed the '80s. I was born in '68, so I saw most of the '70s and '80s and '90s. So kind of watched the evolution of video games, the evolution of music, and how music was. I remember cassette tapes. Cassette tapes was the main way that we were able to get music on demand, and then CDs started to come out, and then those MP3 players. Now I guess you can just put all the music on your phone, or YouTube. Also, you can make a playlist of. I have a really long playlist, or a couple of them. One is '80s music. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that was in the 80s that were, it was mostly, yeah, you had to talk to people face to face. There was no texting, there was no internet. There were computers, though. I remember in the late 80s, there were home computers, but most of the computers we had were at school because you had to be rich enough to get a nice computer. The movie Weird Science, the 60s, the swinging 60s. I like the 60s songs. There's a Dairy Queen that plays 60s music. You were born in 2003, so you were right at the end of the turn of the century. 2003. I remember 2000 happening. Everybody was worried about the Y2K, the year 2000 bug, something to do with computers and whether or not the computer would recognize the new year. Everybody partied like it was 1999 until the year 2000 happened. Yep, the year 2000, and then everything kind of took off from there. The Indies, that's okay. You're still welcome. You're welcome. You're a youngling, as they call it in Star Wars, a youngling or a young Padawan. Soon you will be a Jedi. A Jedi. There we go. I'll have to get that voice down. Emperor Palpatine. You will find our shields are fully operational. Emperor Palpatine. There was a guy dressed like Emperor Palpatine. He was shopping at Target. He would wave his hand and the doors would open because they had the electric eye doors. Oh, somebody used a message. Somebody used a word. One of those words again. You feel old. I feel old. And then I have people telling me, I think they're gaslighting me, I think. The people who tell me, you're not old. It's like, I'm 55 years old. They say, you're not old. It's like, yeah, I am. Old is how old do you think you are? Yeah, 17 and 18. I remember 18 was when I could go to the adult bookstore. I remember as soon as I turned 18, I was old enough to go into an adult bookstore. Now I don't even see adult bookstores anymore. It's all websites. Naughty, naughty websites. You can find a lot of weird stuff in adult bookstores. Books dedicated to certain fetishes. Yeah. You're talking about being 100 years old? 50 is halfway there. When you hit 50, you're halfway to the 100 mark. And then it's all downhill from there. It seems like all you can do is get older. That's what I kept telling people. All they have to look forward now, all I have to look forward to now is getting older. But then when you're older, you seem to be able to get away with saying things. Hey baby, how are ya? Or get away with dressing however you want to. If you're old, people don't really judge you. People just say, "Oh, he's just an old guy. He doesn't know any better." So I got 3 likes today. How about that? So we got somebody who feels he's too young for the group, or the youngest one in the group. Yeah, it is weird. You don't realize how old you are. It says 4 on my screen. Oh, okay. Well, maybe it hasn't reached us yet. Same. Well, good. We're keeping track. We'll have to have like a kazoo or something. Oh, the likes say 4. Okay. I think they're playing around with me. I don't know what it is. They're messing with my head. I see 3 likes. Other people see 4 likes. Maybe we're in parallel dimensions. That could be it too. Maybe we're having Mandela effects. Parallel dimensions. Yeah, for me it's 4. That's cool that you can see also the track keeper there, or the keeper of track. I keep waiting for something to appear from those bushes. It's like out of the corner of my eye, I want to see something come out of the bushes, like a squirrel or something, or an emu, or an ostrich. That'd be very odd for this country to have an ostrich. There's a lot of creatures that escape from the zoo. A raccoon. Raccoons are a lot bigger than we think they are. They look harmless on TV, but when you see a raccoon, I remember seeing skunks in California. I remember when I left my sliding glass door open, the screen was closed. I think it was around 3 o'clock in the morning, 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. There was a skunk walked across my back porch, and that was, as long as you don't scare a skunk, you're okay. Skunks they smell terrible. Yeah, there was yeah, they're kind of big too. Dogs, when skunks are scared, they show their butthole, and so dogs think that's an invitation to come and sniff. And that's why dogs always get sprayed by skunks, because um, they misunderstand what's going on. The skunk shows their butthole, and they say, "Hey, I'm gonna go sniff that," and then the skunk just sprays them because they're being threatened. That's what I heard. Porcupines are also a creature you don't want to mess with. Porcupines, they're little quills. They have barbs on them, so it's harder to pull them out once you get stuck by a quill. They don't shoot their quills. They run up against you. They stab you with them. They're like little stabbing weapons. So yeah, if you see a porcupine, leave it alone. I remember stopping our car. We were all coming home from a youth group meeting, and we were at the top of a hill, and a porcupine walked across the street. We stopped the car and waited for the porcupine to cross the street. It was a lot bigger than I thought they were. Creatures are quite a bit bigger than we think when we meet them in the wild, face to face. I think a snake was the last creature I saw out in the wild. Oh yeah, it was a huge black snake. I remember one time at the park. Yeah, I was going to the park, and there was a huge black snake, and I stopped and waited for the snake to pass by. I think it might have been a cottonmouth. It might have been a gopher snake, but I didn't want to get up real close to see. Sometimes snakes, you don't even know they're there. You're just bitten by one because you either stepped on it or stepped near it and it felt threatened. Dry bites are the ones that are scary. You were hit by a stable of pigs? I'll have to see that come up again. Pigs will eat you, contrary to popular belief. If you fall into a pig pen, you need to get out real fast. Wow, we've already talked an hour and 10 minutes. How about that? And we don't have any technical difficulty. How about that? I keep saying, how about that? I got to think of something else to say. Yeah, yeah. No technical difficulty. Potatoes. I think we had mashed potatoes last night. mashed potatoes and gravy, or sometimes just pepper. Lemon pepper tastes pretty good on things too. Lemon pepper. Lemon pepper fish is good. And lemon pepper chicken. I think tomorrow we're going to have shake and bake. I like that shake and bake, especially if it's a barbecue glaze. I think it's like, maybe you did. I think so. We got people are leaving. It is about dinner time. No, I didn't. Yeah. I don't even trust that scoreboard anymore. It's like some people, it's like if you're here, you're here. I pay too much attention to those numbers. But I think they keep track, depending on how many views you get. It's all about those views. You get paid for however many views you get. I just want to have fun doing it. You just never know what life is going to bring you. You have to keep getting views. I know. Now it says 3. One time it said 4. I was like looking out for the eggnog. I love the eggnog. I think they brought it out early this year. I was able to get some eggnog yesterday. And then powdered nutmeg. You take the powdered nutmeg and you sprinkle it on the eggnog. Yeah. Is Arthur still here? Yes, he is. Yup. It's almost like it being in the dark. Are you still here? Are you here? I can't see you. Are you here? The Brady Bunch. So I guess it's almost time to go eat now. And I guess we'll do this tomorrow again. I'll see if I can bring out something else for show and tell. I'll bring my Viking sword again. Back by popular demand. So I'll see you all tomorrow. So 4 o'clock seems to be a good time for us to have our powwow. Call this court to order. So, yeah, tomorrow might be a little cooler, a little bit. See ya. Have a good day. Enjoy your evening. Get some hot apple cider. Bye-bye. Well, so, let's end this episode. Bye. Bye-bye. Have a great day.